In this problem, we have to do some algebraic work before, doing the graphing or even solving the rational inequality. So, because, it's given to me that there is a rational expression on either side of this inequality. So the first step here is to rewrite this into a single fraction on one side with a less than 0. So I'm going to move the right hand side to the left hand side like that, and I'm going to combine these two into a single fraction. So for that I need the LCD, which is x plus 8 times x minus 3. This is going to create an equivalent fraction of x plus 3 times x plus 8 over, right, minus x minus 1 times, this should be x minus 3. Okay, times x plus 8, the whole thing over x plus 8 times x minus 3, which is less than 0. So if I combine the top, this together, FOIL this together, FOIL this together, and then make sure to distribute this negative sign to the second piece of the term, I'm having this as an x squared minus 9 because it's an a plus b times an a minus b. So I can write this as a squared minus b squared. For this particular one, I'm going to do the long foiling. So x times x squared plus 8x minus x minus 8. Then combine these two. Okay, x plus 8 times x minus 3 less than 0. So if I combine those two, I'll have an x squared minus 9 minus x squared plus 7x minus 8, the whole thing divided by x plus 8 times x minus 3 less than 0. Distribute this negative sign. So x squared minus 9 minus x squared minus 7x plus 8, whole thing divided by x plus 8, x minus 3 less than 0. Cancels out. I have a negative 7x minus 1 over x plus 8 times x minus 3 less than 0. So again, this is of the form p over q. P will give me my x-intercept for negative 7x minus 1 equal to 0. Negative 7x is equal to 1. X is equal to negative 1 over 7. And q will give me my vertical asymptotes. X plus 8 times x minus 3 is 0. X plus 8 is equal to 0. X is equal to negative 8. X minus 3 equal to 0. X is equal to 3. So these are the three intervals, the cut points where I'm going to create the intervals. Okay. So first let me write them out and then draw the number line. Okay, or I'll draw the number line first. So, and I'm going to place these three numbers, and I know the leftmost number is going to be negative 8, and then it's going to be negative 1 7, and then would be 3. Okay, so I'm going to write these factors down. So negative 7 x minus 1, then x plus 8, x minus 3, and then comes the entire problem, negative 7x minus 1 over x plus 8 times x minus 3. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is pick a test point. And let me, okay, pick a test point from here, probably negative 9. And I'm going to just look at the signs for this. So if I plug in negative 9, negative 7 times negative 9 minus 1, I'm going to end up with a negative number. Let me do a division here, that will be helpful. Okay, so if I do negative 9 plus 8, I'm going to have a negative number 2. So if I do negative 9 minus 3, I'm going to have a negative number 2. So if I multiply 3 negatives, I will end up with a negative number. okay, I did a mistake here. So if I multiply, it's negative 7 times 9. This will be a positive times a negative will be like a positive big number. So this will be positive. So I'll end up to have a positive number. So what that is telling me is because my function is less than 0, this portion of the graph that's below the x-axis, which means my final output has to be a negative and not positive. So this interval, negative infinity to negative 8, is not going to be part of my answer. Okay, now repeat the process for the next step here between negative 8 and negative 1/7. I'm going to pick negative 5. So 7 times, negative 7 times a negative 5 minus 1, a big positive number, minus 1, so this is going to be positive. So for the next one, negative 5 minus plus 8, so this is going to be 8 minus 5, which is positive. And here I'm going to have a negative 5 minus 3, which is going to be a negative. So these three, when multiplied, is going to give me a negative number. So this interval from negative 8 to negative 1/7, I am going to have the graph, or this is part of the answer. This interval is part of the answer. Okay, now repeat it for the third piece over here. This interval is again from negative 1/7 to 3. I'm going to pick 0 because 0 should be there in the middle. So 0, negative 7 times 0 minus 1, it's a negative number. 0 plus 8, which will be a positive. 0 minus 3, which will be negative. So this, when multiplied, will give me a positive value. So that's telling me that this cannot be part of the answer too. Again, repeat the thing for, I'll call this test point 4. So negative 7 times 4 minus 1. So this will be a negative number. 4 plus 8 is going to be a positive. 4 minus 3 is going to be a positive. So if I multiply, I'm going to have negative. So that's telling me 3 comma infinity is going to be in my answer too. So these are the only two pieces of the graph for which the graph is below the x-axis. So if I have to write an answer, I would say the final answer is negative 8 to negative 1/7 union 3 comma infinity. We can cross-check this by using our graphing calculator. I have it posted, inputted here. Now I'm going to draw the graph, and this is what I'm seeing. So if I sketch, and it's in the viewing window of negative 10, 10, negative